Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the DCUO SourceCast. I am, of course, Trex, and alongside me, as always, is Super Patriot.
What's up, everybody? How y'all doing?
And for tonight, we have yet another special guest, 3 weeks in a row. We're on a roll. Yay! We're on a roll. We have a very good special guest coming from the US PC side. Give it up for Kristyana.
Yay! Hello, everybody. How are you?
Wait, you're a dude?
I know. It's shocking, and half the people that listen to this broadcast will forget that within about 2 weeks.
Yes. Yes. He has long hair. It's just not flowing. As we saw at SOE Live. Wasn't as flowing as I thought.
Oh, well.
But thank you all so much for joining us. It was pretty much a viewer request last week that they wanted a fire episode. And we don't really get that many requests. Or if we do, it's more or less, please shut up.
Yeah.
I can appreciate that.
So, of course, I'm a fire tank. Super Patriot's fire tank. Chris over here has a fantastic fire guide on the forums. It was like the thought process, well, why don't we go ahead and just make this a fire episode?
Absolutely.
Just burn the whole podcast down. Woo!
Burn it to the ground and do it live.
That's right. As always. Now what you're seeing right here is a new layout that I created for the live streams. You of course see our information on the bottom, where you can find Super Patriot and myself. Of course, DC Universal Online, giving them the big logo down there. And then on the side, you see we have Twitch chat. Don't be afraid. You can still use chat. I want you guys to use chat because I need something to read. But this chat window here is specifically for when I upload this to YouTube and anything, when I have to make remarks from chat. Instead of repeating it, people can actually look at the chat box and see what people are asking, what people are talking about. And also, you get to be YouTube famous. At least your name.
I can't imagine that not being abused horribly.
That's why I have moderators.
Yes.
Okay, just checking.
Yes.
And Super Patriot and Brittany, even though Brittany's not here, they do a fantastic job.
Awesome.
Yeah, I usually catch them. Like the dude last week.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. Caught him a couple of times. Guy was persistent. He was persistent. Made a couple of names to come in here and try and troll the chat and
He did.
everything.
He really did. But Super Patriot wasn't going to let that happen.
Nope.
No, you did a good job keeping running a tight ship.
That's definitely not me at all.
Well, you got to take some credit, right? Otherwise, you wouldn't be a good host.
Exactly. So, what we're actually going to be talking about we're going to be talking about fire. We're going to talk everything as much as we can about fire. We have, again, Chris has a fantastic guide on the forums. Great, fantastic fire guide. And every time I have to look at my fire guide, it's like, what do I want to change? I go straight to his guide and check it out. Now you also
I know it needs to be updated.
now you're also working on
tell me that.
Now you're also working on Celestial Guide. You just put on the forums, didn't you?
Yeah, I've been on tests the last couple of weeks with a couple great members like GB and Alpha, and we've actually been working with Sport, trying to figure out what works, what doesn't, and it's fun to get it's fun to kind of be at the ground like when the power set's first coming out, because you can talk with people, you can figure all this fun stuff out, what works, what doesn't. I thought, well, we have enough to kind of throw a little bit of a guide together. It's not finished by any means. It still needs a lot of work because it's basically just a collection of notes right now. But yeah, we got it up there, and we got a lot of legendaries contributing to it right now. So hopefully when the DLC goes live on the 3rd, we should have a lot more information for people.
Awesome. I know in some of my Celestial Guide, Celestial videos, just gameplay-wise, I've been called an ass healer, and, I was called a sucky healer, ass healer. It's like, oh my god, Trex, stick tanking, you suck as a healer. It's a new power! Brand spanking new out the door.
Yeah, we've had a couple people that were like, oh, it sucks. And I'm like, well, the person just respect and they walked into Paradox Wave. Like, they've never even tried the power before. Like, of course people are going to if you do that.
Yeah, I mean, I even, like, when electricity first came out, I waited a few weeks, after, I got my tune to 30 and I figured out a good electricity healer loadout before I just ever even thought of posting a video for it. So it's like people who are trying to switch to a power, especially Celestial, because it's an entirely different kind of healing altogether. It's and then trying to queue into Paradox Wave. It's kind of anti. I don't know, it's counterproductive. It's like,
That's one way to put it. Yeah.
Let's figure this out in the hardest content. I'll get this.
Well, I mean, you see that happen with every new power set that gets released. Like, I remember when Hardlight first came out, like, everyone spec to it, and then they wanted to spec back because they're like, oh my gosh, this is absolutely worthless for trolling, it's worthless for DPS, and it's been the same with electricity, with healing, and it was the same with Earth. And, it's been shown, well, why don't you let the people that, have patience, give them a couple weeks to figure out the best ways to use the power set, and that usually ends up working pretty well.
Right. Yep.
All right, so we are going to be talking about fire, and so if you guys have any questions in the chat about fire or anything tanky, we're all three of us are here to help, and so we're just going to talk about a little bit of it. So let's first off talk about the number one thing. Let's talk about stats. What are the stats that fire tanks, mind you, should actually be focusing on?
Dominance above everything else.
And why is that? Should we focus on dominance?
Well, dominance is really interesting because ever since they, I think it was game update 17, they changed it so dominance and restoration stack for self-heals. And when you get dominance, not only do you get that self-heal bonus, but you also get a much larger health pool because of it. You get 2.2 health per 1 dominance, and since dominance is doubled in tank roll, you end up getting something like 31 health off the top of my head per dominance innate you take in the trees. And that's better than the plus 15 health innates.
All right, show off. I see you in there.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
I haven't got mine yet.
Look at that. Sexy. That's awesome.
I should probably see if I got that in the inventory yet.
It's in your marketplace.
Yeah, it should be in your redeem claims in the marketplace. Where mine should have been, but I haven't gotten mine yet.
I want to thank Super Patriot because I wouldn't actually thought about looking in the marketplace until he said something while crying about it. So thank you, buddy. It's all for him.
Shut up.
So yes,
such friendliness. I love it. It's good vibes. This is a safe place.
It is because we're in different states.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Until next year, that's what we live. Aha.
That's very true.
I'm keeping the list.
Oh, good lord, that was. I don't regret anything from that weekend.
No,
that was a good one.
So with the changes to dominance, it definitely has become the number one stat for us fire tanks because us fire tanks, we don't have a shield. We don't have damage mitigation. In my eyes, we're essentially the tank. We're going to get beaten to a pulp. That's why we have health. Lovely health.
Yeah, that is definitely the one thing about fire tank that separates it from Earth and Ice is we have like you said we have no damage mitigation. So those 4 or 5K hits that the bosses will put out, we're taking all of that damage. There's no shrugging some of that off with a shield or anything.
No, I mean, I know some fire tanks run with Hardlight Shield, but with the fact that our mitigation as a tank is so low, every time I use it, like it's blown through before the animation even finishes. So I just stand there for like an extra second just taking damage. So it's like, okay, cool, well, that was a fun 5,000 health.
So what other stats should, after you get your dominance all maxed up, what else should the guys look for? Health, of course, right? Health.
Yeah, definitely. You want to go with health because you get 60% health boost every time you go into tank roll. And that ends up being 24? Yeah, 24 points of health per innate. Sorry, SP.
What? I'm fine with that.
That's the next thing you want to. That's the next thing you want. I mean, it's kind of different with the stat priority. because if you're Earth, you want to take health first. If you're Ice, you want to take Restoration after Dominance. But with Fire, you definitely want to take health after you get your Dominates.
Now it's also become one of those. It's not really like a hot issue, but there's a lot of back and forth about it, and that is the fact of putting points as a fire tank into Restoration, crit mag, crit healing chance, and all that stuff. How do you? What's your stance on those?
Me personally, if you have the skill points to max them out, I personally think that maxing out the critical innates is going to do better first before maxing out Restoration, since you said we don't have any we get enough boosts to our self heals from Dominance, and if you've seen the stats on like the tier 5 tank armor, like the amount of restoration it gives us is just ridiculous. So if you actually get the crit heals first, like the critical healing magnitude and the critical healing chance, that'll overall end up doing more healing for you than just, flat out stacking up Restoration before anything else.
Yeah, I got a new blue from Sons of Trigon, thanks to the new loot system. Thank you. And coming out with this thing, it was pretty cool because it was definitely an upgrade from what I had, and it boosted my Restoration to 884 now, which was pretty neat.
Yeah, it's I think the full tank set gives you in tier 5 gives you something like an extra 500 resto. Don't quote me on that. I don't know that off the top of my head, but it's pretty ridiculous. So it's good for tanks all around. I found myself with Fire in the tier 5 content. I haven't even really been bothered with speccing into resto or trying to make myself heal stronger, because the self heals for Fire at the tier 5 level are just they're just a drop in the bucket. They're nowhere near as useful as they used to be in lower content. They don't scale quite as well with tier 5.
Now, I got a question though about when it comes to the crit heals and everything like that. Now, doesn't the crit heal chance, isn't that like a chance for not just your own self heals, chance for you to get yourself, higher crit on your own self heals, but doesn't that help apply towards the heals that you're taking in as well?
No, it does not. It doesn't affect your healers healing you. It does affect things like health barrels and your own self heals, but no, it does not stack. When your healers heal you, it's completely independent of any of what your stats are. So we did a lot of testing on that to figure that out, and then we actually had Tunzo confirm it. And we're like, okay, cool. So we did weeks worth of work, and you're just like, yep, okay, that's how it works. He likes doing that. Every time we figure something out, we'll spend weeks on it, and then he'll be like, oh yeah, we could have just told you that. Okay, cool.
Yeah. It's kind of frustrating too, because as you'll be carrying on these conversations, and then all of a sudden they'll be coming in and they'll be like, oh yeah, you guys are right. You guys are right. That's how it works. Well, just tell us these things. The one thing that is kind of frustrates me about DCUO out of all the other games that I've played, including a lot of MMOs that I haven't played, but I've seen, is the lack of developer published and produced guides for these things. Mm-hmm. It's I don't know if did you get the guide when the game first launched?
Oh, the wonderful Brady guide. I just wasted $15 on this thing because it's all obsolete in a month anyway. Yes. I'm not proud to admit it, but I did, because DCUO was my first MMO, and I thought, oh, I need this guide. Yeah,
that was exactly my thought process too when I got it, and I was like, what the hell? I was it worked nice as a power description guide. But as far as what exactly you're supposed to do as a tank, as a controller, as a healer, it was totally worthless.
Yeah, no kidding.
It's okay, guys, because I played World of Warcraft. Sure enough, I got the strategy guide for World of Warcraft. Then I got the map book. It was great. Then, of course, the DLC. I got the book for that. Get the map for it. I have books. I have a library of World of Warcraft books that are out of date as well.
Yeah, how many of those are still relevant?
Hell, Cataclysm changed the entire map of vanilla, so it's well, this is done.
kind of works like Dungeons and Dragons. Every couple of years they come out with a new version of it.
Yeah.
You even see that. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Question here from Michael Gribb. What about the defense and toughness innates for fire tanks?
Do not take those unless you have everything else. And the reason being is because the extra 10 that we get, it's really, really bad for defense mitigation. Like it's not even 1 point of mitigation. It's you can max out everything and it's only like an extra 2 points. The problem is that stat also gets cut by armor piercing. And we don't exactly know what it is in the tier 5 level, but it looks like it's about at least 50 to 60%. So in reality, you're only looking at about, each one of those innates gets you 4 defense, as opposed to, I can take this, I can take health. But no, I would not even bother touching those until you basically have like 190 skill points and you can get all the resto, all the thing. Every other stat in the game will help you more than defense will if you're a fire tank.
So, basically at your order of innates to pick up, as you progress, and get more skill points, it would be health, then your crit chance.
First dominance. You want dominance?
I'm
talking about the first tier of innates here, because the second one, a lot of people won't have the skill points to get to.
Dear Lord, no.
First one, you want dominance,
dominance,
and then you want health. Those are the first two that you want, and then depending on how you have a couple options at that point on how you want to build your tank. For me, like if you go for a tank that does a little more damage, so stuff dies quicker, then I can go into the DPS innates. If you want to go with a strictly self-healing tank, you're probably going to be better off getting the crit chance innates first and then getting restoration.
Would you get magnitude or would you get heal chance?
I haven't quite figured out which one's better yet. I only recently found out that like the base crit heal chance is 5%, and I believe you can buff that up to about 20 through the different innates. I'm not sure. I would probably go with critical heal magnitude because it starts at 25%. You can bump it all the way up to 100. So that means your critical heals will be doing twice as much, which is really great when you have something like reignition crit for like 5,000.
Yeah. So then you get your crit chances and you get magnitude, then chance, and then after that you would go with resto. Or
yeah, that's just the way that I build it. I mean, resto, buffing up your resto will get you more consistent heals. Like each one of your heals will be higher, but the crit will still stay low. So I'm trying to find what the break-even point is between. Is it better to have less heals but they crit more often, or do you want like larger heals that crit less and for less? So I haven't quite figured that out yet. I'm working on a spreadsheet for it.
Okay.
If that makes sense. It was kind of a long-winded answer.
You answered the question exactly. That was exactly what the question called for. It's like what.
I tend to have a lot of it, as my fellow panel mates at SOE Live can attest to.
That was that. And I was at that panel. It was a real shame you guys didn't have more time, because I was really interested in sitting there listening to all that.
Even though it was your panel next.
Bah. Silly developers and their too long of a panel. It was a fun panel, but it was too long.
Yeah.
They said they're going to make some changes next year to player panels. Like they're going to request, like if people want more than 1 hour, or they want to request it at a specific time of day. They said it's a work in progress. They're going to be working on, and or like if you just have the last panel of the day, So something like that could be really fun for next year.
They better not allow us. Like, do you guys want longer than an hour? Yes. It's like, are you sure you can fill it up? Yeah, we got this.
What time? Banquet? Yeah.
It's like, just give me the room, like a live stream, and the 2 hours, done. It will be easy. I was really happy we got to live stream it too. That was really cool.
That was cool that you guys were able to do that.
That makes me want to plan for next year for all the other DCO guys. It's like, you guys got a home. I'll even get my mobile hotspot for a month and do my phone, connect to my phone.
That's one thing I hope they have next year that they were talking about afterwards, just the complete lack of internet access. Because Planet Hollywood,
Horrible.
I don't know. It's like maybe it's just a given for me because like I've gone all over the country and stuff like that with my job. But having internet access at a hotel is like a given now,
Especially in the convention area.
in a convention area and at a place like Planet Hollywood, you just think, wait, I have to pay $15 a day for this? So, you know, I'm like, well, I'm gonna get my $15 worth. So I probably torrented like 30 gigs of anime that weekend. I just want to make sure I got the money's worth.
Oh my god, why didn't I think of that?
I just had it set to share all my movies and games and everything else. And I'm like, well, it's not like they're gonna trace it back to me.
That's brilliant. So brilliant. You are a godsend, sir.
I try.
All right, so we got the stats out of the way. Let's look at loadouts. Now, the one thing I've always loved about DC Universe Online is the fact that there's no real cookie cutter builds like you have with most other MMOs, where you use like, oh, you have to get these such and such and such and such to be amazing. No, it comes down to literally the player has to have the skill. I mean, you can look at my loadout now, and actually, I just realized this is kind of my PvP loadout. This is exactly my PvP loadout. Am I even spec PvP?
Where are you at? Shoot me a loadout. Shoot me an invite to group.
Let's see. Is that you to friends? Because I didn't do that yet.
I added you to friends so I could face you. I saw you were on top of the mausoleum out here, but I'm here and you're not.
You might have to shoot me an email or a group invite.
If shoot you a group invite,
Shoot
all
me
right,
the
Player
group
does
invite.
not. Yeah, because he spelled your name wrong.
Shut up.
all right, Mr. Black Ember.
Whatever.
Invite to group. All right.
Definitely spelled that wrong.
Beautiful.
Wow, you were in a different phase with me.
I think it was because you went to your base and phased out.
Ah, that's right. That is right.
So yeah. Now loadouts are definitely fun. I like the fact that you only have 6 powers because I've started playing other MMOs that have like the 40 skill hotbar.
Oh my god.
I bought a Logitech G600 so I could play Terra and STO with it, and you know, I've tried using it in DC, and I'm like, I don't need to.
Yeah, I came from World of Warcraft, and even came in from Star Wars: The Old Republic when I jumped over there for a little while. It's like I had my number one action bar, one on top of it, 2 on each side. Then I have to have. It's like where's actually my heals? It's rough.
Yeah, no kidding. So and it's funny because I try to set up other games like with their hotbars and stuff. I try to set them up the way I have things set up in DC. Sometimes it works great, sometimes it works horribly, and then I'll forget, like when I go on a binge and I play one of those for a week and I come back to DC, I'll completely forget what powers I have, or like I'll be like I'll be in Terra, I'll be tanking, and I'm like, why isn't backdraft working? You know, or something.
I can't roll. What's going on?
Yeah,
It's like I can't stun the boss. What's going on?
Yesterday when I was waiting for the game to update, download to be ready and everything, I was going to have some little nostalgia game and all that, so I threw in Red Dead Redemption. Had no idea how the controllers worked. I'm like, how do I shoot? This guy is shooting at me, and I don't know how to freaking draw my gun. I was like,
yeah, no kidding. Oh. Jeez.
Sorry, me and Oreo.
No problem.
So delicious. Man. It's an Oreo. It's like you're sitting in front of me. It's like, you want it, Trex.
Is it double stuffed? Is it double stuffed?
No, I didn't want to feel like a complete fat ass, so. Because I went to the store even and trying to find Oreos, and I think I actually want to blame Greg Miller for this too, because it's freaking Oreo Nation or whatever. And so
Oration?
Yeah, Oration, yeah. So I'm walking down the cookie aisle, and I'm like, where's the regular? I don't want to be a fat ass. Where's the... Oh, there they are. Because they got the peanut butter, they got the fudge covered. I'm like, oh god. Oh, it's so...
I'm sure his opinion doesn't drop of you at all when you go in there. Where's the regular, damn it? I don't want to feel like a fat ass. Where's the regulars?
Is there diet Oreos? That'll be great.
Diet Oreos?
Sorry, Oreo rant. so delicious, though.
Just reminded me of an episode of South Park and all that when they go ziplining and Cartman's drinking,
Diet
what was
Double
it?
Do.
Yeah, Diet Double Do.
Oh man. Well, anyway, sorry, back
so
on track.
Loadout. So let me explain what the loadout that you actually see on my screen, because everybody's looking at me. So my loadout is, and this is my PvP, but I actually did this last night in Sons of Trigon. It was an amazing team, but I kept the loadout, so I think I might just stick with it. I have Inferno, Flashpoint, Backdraft, Burnout, Burn Determination, and then because I'm a speedster, I got Tornado Pull. Literally, Tornado Pull. All of a sudden, I saw that. I'm like, this is my PvP loadout, because I don't use that for anything. But I used it for the first time, because I never used it in PvP. So I used it the first time, and I found it was a pull. I'm like, I have a pull, and it's not Backdraft.
Yeah, either that or mesmerizing last. I thought you read my guide. What are you talking about? Why is this a surprise?
Well, I didn't. I skimmed it.
Oh, okay. Well, it is rather long. It's really.
We definitely kind of need cliff notes.
Too long. Yeah, too long. Didn't read.
TLDR, blame the healer and the troller if anything goes wrong.
There you go.
That's what I usually do. Yeah.
No, I mean when I have a different loadout. It's really similar to yours for the most part. This is my PvE loadout for T5. I use Burning Determination, Burnout, Low Pressure, which is it's pretty similar to Inescapable Storm. It's a flight pull, pulls from range. I have Flashpoint for juggling. I use Backdraft, and I have my 6 power is changed to Absorb Heat, and I use that for taunting because it's a pretty unique power in that aspect.
Yes, it is. I ran with Absorb Heat from ever since the beginning till maybe. God, I actually want to say maybe DLC 5. I stopped using the Absorb Heat, but it was great taking of heals. That's what I loved it for on boss fights. And at the same time, I kind of did more of it DPS wise using it, just because it was a nice little dot and it healed me as a DPS. But even for tanking, even in front of the boss with my bow, I loved Absorb Heat. Loved it.
Yeah, and I remember for the longest time, I kept telling you to get that out of your loadout.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
Because,
Well, I used to have.
But with that empowered, I've actually heard Kristyana talking about the empowered channeling mod actually would make burn or absorb heat a very viable thing to be using in tier 5 stuff now.
Yep.
Well, there's 2 reasons for it. The main one, I don't use Absorb Heat for the heals. It has to do with the way the taunt mechanics work in game, because you know that as a tank, there are aggro resets that happen all over the place in tier 5. Like, you have to, there's no, your taunt lasts for 12 seconds, but everything resets about every 3 or 4 seconds. So you have to spam like crazy to keep aggro on some of the ads and some of the bosses. Now, the fun thing about Absorb Heat is that it's the only firepower that taunts on every single tick of damage that it does. Other fire powers do not do that. So if you have Inferno, it's only going to taunt on the initial cast. It's not going to taunt on anything else that gets set on fire, or every tick's not going to refresh the taunt. So the cool thing about when you use Absorb Heat is if you're trying to get the timing window right for an aggro reset, because if you don't get it right, they usually go after the healer because they generate so much threat after the tank, and it's just a really fun power to use on an ad wave or everything else, because it makes sure everything gets taunted for 6 continuous seconds. And so I can find I hold aggro a lot better now. I used to have Amazon Deflection in that spot, but it doesn't get the bonus from the Fortified Blocking mod, so I don't run with it anymore.
Yeah. That's probably the reason why I stopped running with it too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I would still have it over Absorb Heat, definitely, if it got the same bonus, but I can see why they don't have it, so.
Yeah. So fire tanking frustrates me so much. It's actually gotten to the point, I was getting so frustrated with Nexus raid and all that I've ended up, kind of doing more DPS work than I have been tanking lately. Mm-hmm. Part of that is the fact that, I'm waiting. They really need to get armories into the game, because I hate respecking. I seriously hate respecking. Um, 165 skill points isn't fun. And then
I don't have that many, and I get frustrated every single time.
and then if you mess up, that you gotta go all back over again, and I'm like, God. So we really need to get the armories in the game just for that alone. But
Yeah.
I mean, I'm geared up and everything for it. It's just frustrating because, as a fire, we don't have that damage mitigation. So our, survivability is reliant not just on us, being able to keep our health buffed up and being able to, do our aggros, in between combos that the bosses are doing, but our survivability is heavily dependent on the healers. And if you got a healer in there, it's not exactly pulling their weight because they're used to doing it with an ice tank.
They're in for a surprise.
Yeah.
I mean, that's another thing too that healers don't realize is we get an 80% healing buff, but when it comes to efficiency, we're the worst tank to heal even with that buff. So healers usually have to work harder to keep a fire tank up no matter what the instance is. That's why the fire tank really has to know, okay, this is when you block. Even with empowered channeling, it gives you a pretty good mitigation boost for the time that it works. So it's just something that, even with the healing buff, I wish our self-heals healed for more to cover that gap. But, yeah, everyone knows how I feel about that, and I know how everyone feels about me bringing up the issue.
Yeah.
So, hi, Spike, if you're listening. Anyway.
Well, honestly, I mean, even if maybe they didn't, increase our self heals, because honestly, if they did increase our self heals, I mean, you'd hear a lot of complaints in PvP because of that. But if they gave us a little bit more powerful, juggles. Honestly, I think we should be able to, if you've got enough dominance to do it and all that. I mean, I know I've come close to 1,300 dominance, I think now, with my mods and my gear and everything. Honestly, I think we should be able to, bounce, General Lex around a little bit. In that final boss.
Like what we did with Orbital Strike before they fixed it.
Not that bad.
Oh, that was beautiful.
Used to make the Avatar meta twerk in Prime.
Oh, please don't mention twerk.
Did you just turn him into a ghost? Yes, I did.
Yeah, that was bad, though. That was so bad.
That was fun.
So bad. I think I can't remember where I found it. I think some
will kind of suffer in this game more than others, and it was a point that I brought up with the devs at SOE Live. It's not exclusive to the tank classes themselves. It's not like Fire has this problem, Ice has this problem, and Earth has this problem because they're Fire, Ice, and Earth. I mean, you guys have played other MMOs, like you mentioned WoW. I mean, I've played Terra, I've played STO. And you'll notice that in most of those games that use the Trinity setup where you have the healer, the tank, and the DPS, that the abilities to kind of help the group, they're spread out a lot more among the classes. Like the healer class or the shaman or whatever you want to call it, they usually handle the mana regen. The tank usually has buffs that help the team, or they have debuffs for the boss, and you don't really have a controller class. So when you've got this Trinity, in DCUO, every other role besides the tank has something that they can do when they can't do their primary job. Like trollers they debuff, which in turn buffs everyone else's defense or attack when you really think about it. Healers can throw up group shields, they can buff, some of them can buff precision, they can buff crit chance. Tanks, we can't do any of that. So when we run into an issue where a boss turns around and does a one-shot or he does a combo, and it takes 5 seconds before they turn around and focus on us again, even if we have aggro, there's nothing we can do to help the group out. We can't buff their mitigation, we can't roll in front and take the hit, we can't physically debuff the boss. I mean, during those times we just sit there as an underpowered DPS. And I think that's one of the reasons why the two-tank thing, you can tell that Nexus was designed for 2 tanks, but it's just not viable at a higher level.
Nobody wants to do
there
it
because the 2 tanks having 2 tanks doesn't add anything to the group like it does having 2 healers or 2 trollers or multiple DPS. So I think that they need to fix the issues that we have with the tank class first moving forward, or else you're going to see, all the new content from this point is going to suffer from that same problem.
Yeah, because we're actually getting to a point right now, with between all the powers that are in the game, there's like every power in this game except for the tank powers has a group shield supercharge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and or just a group shield power. It's like sorcery's got boon of souls and all that, and that's just a power it carries. Pretty much every other power has a group shield, except for tanks. And I'm curious, if we're supposed to be out there, helping to take all the brunt of the damage for everybody else in the raids or the alerts, why don't we have something like that? Something that would, beef up everybody else's defense, to where they're taking extra damage. Oh wait, I know why. Because of the whole team buff thing and the alerts. That's why.
The funny thing is, we used to be able to do that. Fire used to buff teammates' health by 25%. Ice used to do the same thing with defense for powers like Winter Ward, and they took that out around update 6. They stopped doing that. And I would love to see that brought back in. Like, I still think that you should get the no tank buff provides a big problem for tanks because it's by far the most powerful one in the game, and it does a better job protecting teams than most tanks can. Because you give everyone this 25% mitigation, everyone gets turned into an earth tank. They don't have to do anything, and as long as they can, manage aggro, and then you've got something else coming in. Another DPS that can burn stuff faster. So you've got the Trinity set up, but it's more efficient because everybody's getting protected by a tank-like power, and you've got twice the amount of DPS to burn stuff down.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a little bit frustrating. Me personally though, I'd rather be able to go back to where it's like we'd go into the tier 4 content. I used to crowd control more than the controllers would.
Yeah.
In those things.
Well, the tanks are built for that. They're more so than the controllers. Except for maybe Quantum. Quantum's a power set that really behaves the way a troller power set should behave.
Yeah.
Yeah, that CC.
I love it, and it's something that doesn't really give many immunities to, because I absolutely hate it when a controller just gives immunities to stuff that I'm fighting just for the hell of it. I will yell at them. I've kicked them out of raids before. It's like you run into a hard light troller that runs in, like, how many times has this happened? You're with a hard light troller, he runs in ahead of you and he spams the room with light blast. Like, that's the first power he hits. Or
I've actually seen that.
Yeah. You're tanking, and instead of throwing a debuff, the mental guy uses mass terror, and then suddenly everything around you is flashing with immunity, and you can't rein it back in for a couple seconds. Yeah. It's so frustrating when that happens.
Yeah. My favorite ones are the guys that go in there, the mental guys that go in with Thought Bubble. Start off with Thought Bubble right at the beginning. So, I can't even now that ad's bouncing all over the place, so I've got no hope whatsoever of aggro.
Especially you just hit it with weapon attack and there it goes. You're like, okay.
Yep, it's gone. It's gone.
Say, look, it flies.
Yeah, it's gone. But I may have missed it before. But did you go over what your preferred your tier 5? What kind of a loadout do you use for like Nexus and Wave for fire?
I use the two breakouts, Burnout and Burning Determination. Mm-hmm. I use the long range pull for me, which is I swap back and forth between low pressure and mesmerizing lasso depending on what we're doing. Like, I actually change my loadout several times during the course of the raid, depending on what we're fighting. I have Flashpoint for juggling and as to spam as a cheap aggro power. I use Backdraft because, well, it's Backdraft, and I use Absorb Heat just to try to keep as much aggro on me as possible. Because, it happens so often in Tier 5, the second the tank drops aggro because of a reset, and if they don't get it back instantly, then half the group's wiped.
Right.
So that's usually what I use. It works really well for me. I've heard other tanks using different powers like spontaneous combustion or like Trex you use Inferno. I mean, it doesn't make it any less effective, but for me, this is the most effective loadout that I've found for myself.
Right. I'm probably gonna be changing my load up now after hearing tonight for when I go tanking. But what about other powers like I know emulation doesn't do a lot of damage out and everything like that. But I know emulation does work as an aggro. For very close range and all that. You're keeping everything there. Also with Stoke Flames. Stoke Flames is like one of the more popular self heals for tanking.
Stoke is the largest heal that we have that doesn't rely on supercharge. It is a very good heal and it set things on fire. The problem that I found with it is that I try to run with powers that I don't just use them in one situation. Like if I have Burning Determination, I can use it for the heal, or I can use it for the breakout, or I can use it to set things on fire. Same thing with Burnout. I can use it for the team. Basically every power that I have, I can use in more than one situation. I have not found a situation like that for Stoke Flames, except to use it just basically as a self heal because that's what it's designed to do. And while it is really popular, you have to be careful when you cast it, because with any of Fire's self heals, if you have to come out of block or you're getting pounded on when you cast it, you lose all the mitigation, and you're going to be taking far more damage than Stoke Flames is actually going to heal you for. So that's the reason I personally don't run with it, but I've seen other tanks use it quite well. 1 second. Come on in, it's open. Sorry, my friend just showed up.
Awesome. Well, we won't keep it any longer. Chat, if you guys have any questions. Chat, if you guys have any questions for fire tanks or any other questions that we can try and answer from a tank class, be sure to shoot them out as we're talking. We'll be more than happy to answer them.
But no, thanks for having me. I really do appreciate it. I wish that we had more time, but it's just it happens.
Yeah.
Life gets in the way.
Oh yeah. For everybody who is looking to see exactly what Kristyana's thoughts are on tanking, the elaborate, incredibly detailed fire tank guide can find. Here is a link in the description for you all to take a look at it there. It's a read. I'd suggest a tablet, when you go to the John or something.
Because that's how I like to spend my moment of zen, yes.
Well, you got Reader's Digest, then hey, there's a tanking guide. Let's read that.
Now before you,
it is really long, but I do need to update it when it comes to some of the power descriptions. But the basics on how tanking works, they haven't changed. So, right. But yeah, some of the powers, I need to put in overheat, I need to take out consume objects. Some of the powers heal for less now. So, I just need to go through it and test it all when I can find time when I'm not working on Celestial.
Quick question for you, because I have been doing a lot more DPSing than I have been tanking lately. So I've got some thoughts on DPSing. You don't DPS that much, do you?
Not with fire. I just everything's pretty and it's burning, and then as long as I beat the trollers in a raid, I'm happy.
But how would you feel? Because the one thing I've noticed with fire DPSing is the lack of, tanking. Obviously, we don't have really the crowd control effects unless we have the juggles and everything. But when you're DPSing, especially long range DPSing, you definitely don't have the juggles in there unless you get lucky with the the spontaneous combustion and detonate combo, which is awesome, by the way. But when it comes to other things and all that with fire and all that, we don't really have any interactions where that other powers do. Say with mental's got the panic, and even ice can chill, freeze people. For me, I think fire could use a little bit of a panic kind of interaction from when you set something on fire, because who's not going to freak out if they get put on fire?
Oh yeah, I think the only thing we have like that, I know absorb heat stuns if something's on fire, but off the top of my head, I think that's the only one that we have.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. The only other one that works that way is reignition. If it can be knocked up, it will be knocked up into the air. It doesn't matter what your dominance is. Right. So, but yeah, that's really our only CC option when we're DPSing.
Now, I mean, there's one. I want to see if they actually changed it because the ability Wildfire, I used to run that on my tank loadout as a range when stuff's running away or something, and I used it pretty well because it resets the fire debuff. It resets the dot.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But then again, I mean, if you're the only fire user in the raid, that it's not really that good of a power. Like there's other ones that you can use that are better for that situation. Mm-hmm. But you know, the synergy between a fire tank and a fire DPS in a raid is it's still incredibly awesome, and I think it makes things melt faster than any other combination like that. So, that's just been my experience and my opinion on it.
Yeah, a lot of our power interactions really is if they're burning, we have some that will heal. The others, absorb heat, stuns. We got Fire Burst here as a DPS ability. They do extra damage, and that's really all that we have is it does extra damage for burning targets.
We just saw the chat. Michael said we need a stop, drop, and roll interaction. That would be fantastic. Oh, man. That'd be humiliating to be hit with in PvP if you ran out of power to break out.
Oh yeah, so, or you hit them with that and then they fall down to the ground. You know, they got like a sizzling bacon animation. You know,
putting
bacon sizzling in the pan.
We're putting bacon animations in the game, but we can't get crypto. What kind of world is this?
They'll put that right behind the unicorn-based powers that they're going to be putting in probably.
I have a really strong feeling that there's going to be a trinket or an aura coming out.
Just to get people shut up, or just a unicorn in the market. That's all you need.
I'm okay with that.
Just a head style. That's all.
All right. Well, before you go, we know that Fire already got the update. It was a couple of months. Actually, really, how long ago was that?
Was it a year?
23, rough. I think. I'm not sure. It was a while ago. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and new animations, the couple of new powers that we got, it works really well. What changes would you actually see to a certain power or just in general for fire? I'm not even going to base it down to tank. I'm just going to go with Fire.
I think Fire as a whole. Now, I can't really speak too much from the DPSing aspect.
Right.
I would like to see some of the dots made a little more powerful. Because they're some of the lowest in the game behind what some of the other power sets can put up. And just the healing, I would like to see it buffed, not to the level it was when it was like super big heals and the dominance buff, but I really think they over-nerfed that when they corrected the issue with dominance doubling across all the classes. But yeah, overall, I mean, I have fun with Fire, but Soulburn's really the guy you probably want to talk to from the DPS aspect about things that like should be changed and which shouldn't, because I never delved into it. I never delved into that aspect of it quite as extensive as I did with tanking.
That's true. Soulburn does have a fantastic DPS guide as well.
Oh yes, he does. I love that thing. So.
All right, well, go ahead and get out of here. Enjoy your night.
All right. Hey, take care. I had a lot of fun, and we'll have to do it again sometime when the new tank set comes out with DLC 9.
Woo! Yeah!
We're looking forward to that.
Do you really think it's going to be Blue Lantern?
It might not be Blue Lantern, but this is me personally. I think it's going to be Lantern-based because, now I'm not saying this because I know anything that people don't know, but every time they've released a power set, it's been really heavily tied into the DLC. Like this one, Celestial, you've got, Trigon, and, you got the Sentinels of Magic and everything else, so it really fits. And considering DLC 9, they're going to have to release a tank power set. If they don't, myself and others are going to be really upset. And it's the theme is Lantern-based. So, yes, they're probably... And then someone did some digging through the game files, and they found out that now there's Blue Lantern auras in the game for the different character sprites. So, it's leaning pretty heavily towards that. I would honestly be surprised if it wasn't a Lantern-based set for tanking.
I've already said it, but I'm stating it again. If any ounce of visual, whatever, if I have Red Lantern tanking, I'm done with Fire. all together.
Well,
Red
see,
Lantern
my thought
tank
is-
all together.
See, here's the thing though, Trex. What if they introduce it as a lantern? It's a lantern powered, but it's blue for the heroes and red for the villains.
Bye, heroes. Peace. Laters.
And they've been trying to figure out the population imbalance for quite a while. That could be something that fixes it.
Done.
It had like 90% of the villain community is going to be Red Lanterns. Then.
All the way.
It's a whole act by puking blood on your enemies. I love that idea.
Well, the problem is they'll all be DPS. None of them will want a tank.
That's true.
Oh, I'll tank myself. They're going to want to go for it, but we'll see if anyone wants to bring us into raids. If Earth was any indication when that thing came out. Oh my God, that was bad.
I'm still seeing no love for Earth. Still not seeing it.
It's a good power set. I mean, on paper, it's got the most to it. It's more powerful than Earth or Ice. I'm sorry, Fire or Ice, if you know what you're doing with it.
Yeah,
But
and I have seen some fantastic Earth tanks in raids and stuff. I've been very impressed with some of the Earth tanks I've seen in raids too. It's just it's like with Fire. It takes practice. It takes getting to know it. It's not an easy learn. Excuse me. Not an easy learn your rotation with your shields like Ice is.
no.
Not to downplay Ice tanking or anything like that, but I mean, come on, folks. I mean, there's a reason why people used to shout for nothing but Ice tanks for FOS 2. There was a reason.
The reason they're shot for nothing but Ice tanks and Nexus and Paradox too.
Exactly. I mean, it's it's an easier tanking power to learn. With Fire and with Earth and all that, there's a learning curve to it. It takes a while. So, I mean, I learned some new things tonight, and I've been playing with Fire since the beta. So
There you go.
It's fun. That's what it's all about, working together to try to figure out ways to do things. And each tanking power set is unique in its own way like that. And I really like that. So anyway, guys, it's been a lot of fun. I need to get going.
Yep.
See you later, Chris.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having you.
All right, have a good one, guys.
You
Take
too.
care.
All right. Once again, thanks to Kristyana for showing up onto the SourceCast. We do wish that he was able to be on the show a little bit longer with us, like Tharkus, but he Frank came over, personal stuff, so he needs to go ahead and have himself a nice Friday night. Now we can go on with the rest of our show, just like with the dog barks.
Hey, dude,
I'm not hating.
I got a high school football game going on less than a block away from my house. I'm surprised you're not hearing that.
Location. All right. So now we can just go on doing our normal rants, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Trex got in trouble on the forums today, everybody.
one moment. We will get to that. What everybody's looking at right now, if you guys are all really puzzled, and if I close this window, you're seeing a new overlay that I created for my live streams. This isn't DCUO basic. I have different stuff for my other games as well. It's pretty much just almost practically the same stuff. Calm down, people. Calm down. What is going on over here? Chat, calm down. Calm down. This is not over, Centrin, not by a long shot. So there was no FNL tonight. There was not. So what you're actually doing right now, I think we're going to start seeing people trickle in right here because it's at 8 o'clock range. And that's when we kind of would normally somewhat start. Yes. And so we took over our original spot because FNL's not here right now. And so let everybody trickle in. That's okay. So, I mean, we have the first hour talking about Fire. Now we're going to talk about whatever we want. And that's, of course, a lot of forum news and a lot of forum discussions that we're going to have to do. I mean, these people are going nuts. All right, fine. We're going to start off with that. All right. So, yes. I got in trouble. I got the SOE mod messaged me on the forums saying that I had a forum violation. It was a slap on the wrist. And it's okay. It's okay. There is no link. Trust me, as soon as I got home and I saw I had it in the inbox, I desperately looked through the forums, to look through my internet browser history, to try and find this thread that I replied to. And let's talk about that right now. So, I can't even remember the original poster's name. I can't remember all of what he said. because all of what the OP said was talking about how he disapproves on some of the stuff that DLC 8 brought about. Most likely, I think it was talking about like the loot changes or something. I don't know. It was stupid. Really, really stupid. But what I got mad about, and we'll talk on this a little bit later in a moment, but with what his last sentence was that P.S. they should have fired more people.
Oh, dude.
My response. I'll even let me log in, and because he quoted it, because that's what I had to get trolled upon. Because yes, I got foreign violation for trolling. So let me log in real fast to look at my inbox. Ooh, wrong password. Stupid me. I'm thinking of another password. Actually, that's my work password. So let's bring this in. Come on, don't go slow on me. Come on, laptop. Okay. So let's see here. All right. So it was removed a post for trolling. What I said was, "Da fuck, DAFUQ." I knew what was going on. I don't even use that word that much. I'm finding I'm using it more and more. So it's, and this is because I read that last sentence. I would have ignored the entire thread if it wasn't for that one sentence. And it's like, the fuck is wrong with you? GFTO, freaking rude man. That's what I said. That's what I said, and it was removed for trolling, and I'm not in arguments. I did a boo-boo. I'm human. Trex did a bad thing. He did bad. But yes, I was, it happens. It happens. But it really was the fact that this dude had the audacity. And I can't even find the thread, so it might have been deleted, and go for it. Because, I got this message at 9 a.m. this morning. I haven't been on anything all day. I haven't been on the internet all day because I've been working on the skill planner, which is just tiring. I have a headache now. Stupid coding. And so I read this as soon as I got home this afternoon. So it's like, what the hell? What's going on? So, I live with it. And I owned it. I was okay with it. I have to move on. That's exactly what I have to do. I just have to move on. But, so, and because of, in light of what that post was about, we found out earlier this week that SOE did have to do some layoffs. Wait, what's Aiden linking? Aiden found something?
No, he just linked the
your
threads on the forums.
Latest posts. I was trying to find that. That's new threads. I don't want new threads. I don't want new threads. Whatever. Anyways, it was earlier this week that we had SOE did some layoffs through the company through, I think, practically almost every division. Right. Every game got hit with this, and no, I do not have any names. Super Patriots doesn't have any names, and even if we did, we cannot give those names out. It's now down to a personal matter that if these people wanted if they wanted their business out, they would actually tweet it, Facebook it, whatever. They would announce it themselves. On the DCUO side, we don't know who got hit, and honestly, I really don't want to know who got hit. I really don't want to know.
Yeah, especially after SOE Live and getting to meet a few of them.
Yeah, like all of us in the community council, we were just devastated with this news because Brass told us before she posted it, and so when it finally came out into the forums and we read it, we were just like, the blow was softened for us, and it was just crazy. Just like any business, I've had to do firings before. I had to do layoffs at my old job, so it's tough. It's always a tough thing to do, especially in SOE. When you go to us, we went to SOE Live, and we saw how tight-knit everybody was and how friendly everybody was. It's really hard to say goodbye to some of these people. Because some of the people that I've actually, I actually knew the name. Actually, I knew like two of them. I know one of them. I actually know one because I actually met him. I met one of them at SOE Live, and I found out he was laid off, and I was so sad. because I met him. He was really cool, and now I have to find a way to keep in touch with him a little bit because he was a really, really cool community manager. He was one with DCUO. Meps is still around. Let's go ahead and say this now. Meps is still around. As far as I know, he's not going anywhere. No one else wants him.
I think Meps will want to quit in a glorious fashion before he was ever to get laid off.
That's right. It still breaks my heart that we had to see so many layoffs in this.
Meps' last day will be a day of his choosing, and I'm more positive than anything that he would choose that day to go into random instances with people and just like one-shot you all in the middle of a raid or something. Like you're close to beating Nexus, and bam, Meps shows up and one-shot you.
Just unplugs it.
almost getting the Odyssey feat legit. Bam, Meps just one-shot you.
Nice. That's how you do it, folks.
That's what they call burning the bridge as you leave.
Michael Grid, no. Titanic Trenton still he still has a job. I don't know why, but he still has his job. I'm trying my best to get him fired. I don't know why. We just need a new hero, or at least I want Titanic Trenton in Legends. If anything, he'll be great in Legends. So again, it's really saddened to hear about the SOE layoffs. And if you guys find out information about who got laid off and everything, please keep it to yourself. I don't want to blast personal business on with anybody, and that's not how anybody should roll. So, but I do wish the best of luck to all those affected. Good luck out there in video game world or wherever future you go with. We do appreciate all the work that you've done for DCUO and even for the other games and even the community managers as well. You guys are doing a fantastic job. The reason for the layoffs, like any business, they had to cut costs. Like any business, they had to just cut costs. And they had to put... So, I mean, that's all I can really go with. They just had to cut costs. And so all the divisions of SOE got really hit. And I don't know how many was affected. You can go online and see how many people were affected. Take it with a grain of salt. I don't care if it's from Polygon or MMORPG. It's like, oh, we have a confirmed from inside source. I don't care. We don't need to know a number. Yeah. I don't want to know a number. You guys shouldn't need to know a number. It doesn't affect you. It doesn't affect us. It affects them. And so I want... they just need to keep their stuff, everything together. All right. I'm going to miss those guys. I can get choked up. Oh, man. Okay, so we are going to do kind of pretty much an official review of DLC 8 next week on next week's show. Okay, so this week we'll talk about some of the new stuff. We're going to talk about the new stuff as I'm actually going to be doing some questing because I need to get my questing going back again. So I'm going to try and focus as much as possible. It's not going to work out very well. I know that much. I know it. But you're also going to see me die a lot because this stuff is actually kind of hard to do solo. But it's fun.
Really?
It's maybe I just suck at the game. I'm just going to go with that. I just suck. but I try my hardest. But so a couple of new features I really want to touch upon because it leads into some discussions. The new loot system has been released for DLC 8 and it also covers DLC 7 as well. Okay?
Yes. All the Tier 5 content.
All Tier 5 content. So what does this mean? Well, it means this. When you go into these raids or duos or alerts or whatever, you go in, you're going to have to do, you defeat a boss. Congratulations, the boss is defeated. You're not going to see a loot menu. You're not going to see that little loot menu. Instead, you're going to see, bam, your loot just given to you. Yes, it is random. Yes, you might not be able to wear it. You might not be able to use it. Yes, you will probably get initially pissed because it's what we do. But
yeah,
it's loot.
I got the rifle 2 times in a row doing the alert last night.
I got the rifle last night too, and I was like, I really want to switch back to rifle now. That style looks badass.
To begin with. I've never really liked rifle. I know there's people that do. Oh, excuse me. I know there's people that do, and I admire all of you who do it like it. It's just not my weapon of choice.
It's
And then,
okay.
of course, then one time, it's like my top three weapons that I like are brawling, of course, and then there's shield, and then hand blasters. I'm really digging hand blasters for DPSing right
I like
now.
hand blasters too.
And so I did this the second time we ran it. I got the rifle again, and one person in my group got brawling, and the other person in my group got hand blasters. And all I could think was, what the hell? You just gave me freaking rifle, and I'm getting it again. But yeah, there's that. But yeah, the loot tables. I mean, if anything, I mean, I know a lot of people aren't happy with it. I've seen a few posts of people, stating their opinions about it. And I get that. There's some aspects of it that I'm not too thrilled about either. Like getting rifle twice in a row. But at the same time and all that, I look at it as this way. If I ever want to switch roles or switch powers and all that, if you got room in your bank, save like the highest, level of gear that you can find or that you end up getting, and just, replace, replace, lower gear, level gear with a higher set of gear. That way, if you ever want to switch to like me, if I ever want to switch to a healing power, I'm still going to be able to be more than able to run tier 5 content, you know, with and be able to heal it because I actually have a full set of healer stuff available to me. I've actually got a full set of controller gear available to me as well. So I mean, you can look at it that way. Plus, on top of that, you can also be able to actually have you're guaranteed to get stuff to salvage. And I know, like, I don't know about on the PC, but I know on the PS3, US PS3 at least, the cost for mats is out of control. I was
I don't
checking out the
mod,
cost
so
just for complex. Yeah, I know, but I was checking out the cost just for complex last night, and it was ridiculous. I was like, one complex material costs about 300K, and I saw stacks of it. A full stack of 16 going for almost 4 million on the broker. But that's on there's people actually able out there that are actually able to afford that. As far as on other servers and all that, I know that, I mean, that's just a horrific price and all that, and nobody be able to afford it.
yeah.
So I mean, that's one way to look at it. That's one way to look at it.
Excuse me, I'm about to die apparently. I just want to spin.
Every time you get into a fight, the stream lags.
Yes, it does. So, yes, it does. I don't know how to fix that. Don't leave me alone. So, now there is apparently some bugs with the loot as well. I think there's a lockbox loot going on, right, or bug that I don't know really what to do. I'm not really sure.
Well, yeah, they who's it? Aiden Warren actually just linked that in the chat window there about the weekly boxes. Warning everybody not to open up the weekly boxes because you're not getting anything in there. And Captain Liberty actually responded to this thread. I don't know if anybody's seen that. Where he stated on here, he's like, please be sure not to consume any unattuned items or award boxes if you have a full inventory. Make sure you have at least 2 additional open slots available. But however, he says that they have identified the problem and should have a fix out early next week. This being a holiday weekend,
it kind of hurts.
Yeah, holiday weekend. I gotta wait the weekend to get my doggone freaking SOE live sign because of the holiday. So
It's okay, buddy. We still love you.
Yeah, well, I'm sitting here, I'm looking at see you and Kristyana with your plasmic auras on. I'm looking at this, the recruitment thing for PC right now for DCUO. All the rewards for DCUO are patriotically themed rewards for recruitment, and people are trolling me, man.
They are.
People are trolling me. The game's trolling me.
It's the it's a conspiracy. That's exactly what it is. It's a conspiracy.
Mm-hmm. It is. It is.
All right. Trying to think. What else? The new improvements. I'm going to go with new improvement. I'm going with that. The rearranging of where the broker and the mailboxes are.
Well, I think it's awesome.
It is awesome. In the watchtower, you're going to find in each wing, you're going to find the broker, the mailbox, and the bank, all in each wing, just right there beside each other. Even in the Hall of Doom as well, I believe. I'm not really sure where exactly in the Hall of Doom, but I know it's there. I know it's there. But it's aesthetically pleasing. That's exactly how I can put it. It's aesthetically pleasing where I'm now going to the mailbox. Oh, bank's right there. Hey, broker's right here too. Excellent. Boom, 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 boom. You go over to the broker old area. The box is shut down. It's just shut. There's no getting in there. Now, when it gets closer, I believe that these changes are for giving just improving the lag in the Watchtower and Hall of Dooms. That should really help out, I believe. I think it's also going to go into effect with the League Halls stuff coming up in a future update. Okay, in the Hall of Doom, it's in the old bank area. That's where everything is now. Okay. It's being renovated to the... Oh, nice microgrid. Nice. So, what I want to try and see is that when we start seeing the League Hall stuff, when it's getting closer to that update release, I want to see large construction signs in the Watchtower and even in the Hall of Doom. Large construction signs says under construction. And little robots with yellow hard hats. Just working away. I would love to see that. If they had the phasing technology that WoW does, it would be amazing. But PlayStation probably couldn't hold that. Oh God, no. Oh God, I just realized that. Ugh. That would be horrible. You think your lag is bad now? Oh, phasing technology was rough. It was rough on PC when it first came out.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
yeah, I mean, as somebody who hasn't been, doesn't really spend that much time in the Watchtower and all that, but remembering my days of spending copious amounts of time in the Watchtower, going between the bank, the mailbox, and the broker and all that, it's a lot more convenient with where they're at right now. I like it. I like it. So was that all we were going to talk about the forum news and stuff like that?
Well, I mean, just that was pretty much like just a game of DLC stuff.
We both had banner weeks. We both had banner weeks on the forums. A banner week, both of us, I think, had a banner week on the forums.
Yeah, maybe.
So you got moderated for the first time. Congratulations, everybody. Trex broke his terms of service cherry.
That's not a thing. I don't want that to be a thing. I'm a nice guy. What kind of crap is that? Jerk.
But I'm surprised you didn't want to talk about the how free players can't purchase the DLC with Station Cash now on a PC side.
Well, I was getting to it. It's in my note. Because that's definitely a thing now.
Yeah, definitely
Finally.
a thing now.
So, last year, and I was really happy because they made the announcement. I saw some, I think, did you mention it to me at first about it? Or
Well, we talked about it here on the show.
No, I meant this week when it was announced. I can't remember where I officially saw it.
Oh, I can't remember.
It might have been on the forums. I was just looking through or something. I don't know. But it was just wow. So, and as soon as I got home, I spent all night, a good hour, searching through the archived forums for the initial announcement about this. August 12th, last year. It's been a year when they said that the DLCs would not be purchasable with Station Cash. It was announced last year in August. It took a year took this whole year because of technical difficulties, probably timing. I don't know. I don't work in the offices. But they had their reasons, and they finally released it this week. Holy crap, the shitstorm that these forums got was incredibly insane. Insane. These people can't, I mean, and a lot, and even some of my viewers. I even had people message me in game and emails on, it was crazy. Just like, what do you think about this? And I really feel that I really hurt some of their feelings. And I didn't like answer it in like a mean way or a sarcastic way. I just really said, what did I say? I'm actually saying that, it's like, Trex, what do you think about Station Cash only not being usable for DLCs? PS3 guys do it. It's money that goes directly to the DCUO guys, or it goes directly to DCUO instead of having to go towards the SOE, Station Cash, marketing, whoever department that is, and it branches out, whatever. This is now officially money going into their pockets because it needs to be. And I didn't hear a reply. I think I really hurt some of their feelings, and I didn't mean to. I'm sure they were probably not expecting that answer either. They weren't. But so, and of course, you read on the forums, all these people went to go get the Station Cash cards at Walmart, Best Buy, 7-Eleven, wherever. They went to go get the Station Cash cards, and they found the announcement was made this week that they can't spend Station Cash anymore. So a lot of them were really pissed. Really pissed. Because they spent money on this item to buy a DCO item and on these DLCs. There's one person in the forums who I commented on a thread because I found that original post, put it in my thread, put it in my post, and was like, guys, I really do feel for you. I really do. But this was announced last year. This is how it goes. There's Aiden. This was announced last year. If you guys weren't here for last year, then thank you, Decon. It's right there in the thread. If you weren't there for it, then I'm sorry. I really think that they could have given maybe a bigger heads up about it. But, I mean, it's how they go. I mean, however they had to do it, they did it. And so now we have this. People have Station Cash that they can't use. Guys, it's like, oh, I only use Station Cash for the DLCs. That's great. But there's other stuff in the marketplace that maybe you haven't tried yet that you could probably use the Station Cash for now. Instead of feeling that you've wasted money, it's still money. You can still buy stuff with it. It's just not what you want as a consumer. It's just not it. And of course, person replied to in the thread saying that I just went out and spent money on my credit card to get the Station Cash to get the DLC. And I don't think I replied to him, but I definitely said to myself, because I had to reread it to make sure he said that. He went to a store, used his credit card to buy Station Cash card to buy the DLC DCUO. Ladies and gentlemen, we just cut the middleman. He could have just spent the credit card on the website and boom, got the DLC.
Yeah, but there's all these people out there that, I don't want to put my credit card on there. Well, I mean, seriously, all right, here's the thing. You guys, all right, and I brought this up before, and I actually mentioned this in that thread that Decon linked. Nobody's getting screwed with this, okay? Yeah, you can't use Station Cash to purchase DLC anymore. Nobody's getting screwed with this, all right? No. It's just that, now you guys have to pay full price for the DLC. Like, PS3 players have to pay full price for the DLC. Instead of using, the 3-time Station Cash that you got, a couple weeks ago or a few months ago in a sale, and you've just been saving it up for the DLC. And I got heat for that, but I mean that's the truth. I mean that's what people were doing. The vast majority of that's what people were doing. So I mean you can't sit there and try and tell me that the majority of people who are upset about this who are trying to say that, oh no, I don't do that. I mean that one guy there. I mean, he if that's true, then he's the exception to the rule. Going out and buying the cards, for the DLC, and paying full price for the cards. He's the exception to the rule then. In my opinion. It's just, I don't know, man. It's frustrating to me because, I mean, you guys, they're complaining because, I mean, one, people complain because, SOE doesn't have enough money, to pay, the devs to, make better content and all that. But then, people are, now people are bitching because, they can't use their discounted station cash to buy the DLC. I mean, it's ridiculous.
And as someone who actually was, I mean, I definitely had identity theft happen to me. Oh man, it was years ago. I was definitely hit with that, and so I definitely understand the people's fear behind it. But I mean, I really didn't even know how to even really word it. I mean, because I got hit with it, but I still put my information out there. I could give you a whole list of whatever bank or whatever internet site gives you for trying to protect your password or your security stuff and everything. And I mean, there's nothing I can really try and say. There's just not. So, I mean, people can have their fears. They can. The station cash thing going away, I understand it from a business standpoint, but I also understand how pissed everybody is from a consumer standpoint. I really do. Because before Legendary came out, before Free to Play, I was definitely one of the people using my station cash that I bought from a store, got that double station cash weekend, and boom, it's done. But I mean, from a business standpoint, they had to make this change. How DCUO is going, how strong everything is the direction they're going. They kind of pretty much need the money. They need to eat. I mean, we're helping fund the video game. That's exactly how you do it. When you're playing World of Warcraft, you're helping fund the video game. When you buy Grand Theft Auto 5, which I'm buying, I'm helping fund. Well, I'm probably paying shipping and handling most likely, but I mean, I'm paying for that. I mean, I completely understand everybody's fear behind it, and if there was a different route that they could take, I really hope that they were able to find it. But I mean, this is how everything's going to go. We definitely have known about it for a year, or at least I have, and some of the people who have been here for that year. But I mean, I do feel for everybody. I do, but this is now a policy. There's nothing we can change. And let me just explain this now. Every game SOE has is following suit. This isn't just a DCUO thing. EverQuest, you can't use station cash anymore. This is now everywhere. All the video games are doing this, or all the SOE games. So we're not being singled out or anything. And most people can call it money grubbing or call it greedy.
It's not greedy if they're asking you to pay full price for something that they worked on. I'm sorry.
Hey, I mean,
maybe if they have a DLC sale somewhere down the line and all that, that's perfectly fine. Which they have done. They've had a sale. They not too long ago they had a whole freaking bundle of DLC that you could purchase for like $30, and it was like there was like all sorts of items in there, and I think there was some inventory and bank space involved in that as well. And they had like 3 DLCs lumped into this one bundle for like $30. It was a damn good deal.
Yeah, I mean, and they've already said that there's still going to be station cash promotions, so you could still get station cash, for everything else in the marketplace. They'll even do DLC sales as well. So their sales is not going to end one bit. So, but it's okay. I mean, everybody's really just they're on edge about it due to the fact that yes, this was sudden. This was directly a week before DLC 8, so far really big DLC release. It's really the timing. The timing just hurts. So I do feel for everybody. My bags are full. I hate when my bags are full.
Well, if you organize your inventory,
It's organized. I bought an extra line. I just haven't shifted things down. And at the same time, I'm holding weapons because of my weapon guide style stuff. So, not really happy about that either.
Mm. Yeah, but I mean, it's like, even some of the people, complaining about the booster bundle pack. Everybody, trying to buy that booster bundle pack just to get that, that aura that you're wearing.
Yeah, you guys are missing the point.
I'll admit, I really wanted to get that aura too. And I bought a few of those bundles, in order to try and get it, and I ended up not getting it, and I was not happy about that. But at the same time, last night, with just a few hours of farming and all of the radar enhancers that I got from those bundles, which I only ended up using like 6, I completed out all the collections, briefings, and the investigation for the new DLC.
Holy crap! No, I never even thought of that.
Yeah, so I mean, you guys got something out of that bundle, all right? You guys got a lot of useful stuff out of that bundle. I mean, trust me, I was not happy about the whole prospect of farming collections and everything. But then I remembered, I got all these radar enhancers. It's going to make it a lot easier.
Yeah, yeah. By the way, big shout out to Red Apocalypse from the USPC villain side for giving me this plasma aura. You're the man. You the man.
Nobody gave me one.
I don't know what to tell you. I just don't know. They love me? I don't know what I'm supposed to say. Oh, there's been a lot of people that said, even on my videos, people have been saying that it's not useful. It's weird. Silly people.
What's not useful?
That booster bundle. Now again, the Plasmic Aura was exclusive to that bundle, so you're not going to see it again until they probably redo the bundle again. Which, of course, is going to come back. I mean, it was honestly a great bundle. I wish I had $20 to buy it. I really do, because it was great. But, anyways, what else happened on the forums? I'm forgetting. I feel like I'm forgetting something else. We covered the SOE layoffs. That was really hurtful. What else? We of course covered. We even covered the boosted bundle. Okay, we covered that, and that was nice. I know people are complaining on the forums about more stuff.
I lodged a complaint.
What did you lodge? Oh wait, what did you lodge a complaint for? I know you started the thread. What was your thread? Can't remember your thread now. What was your thread again?
My thread about the walk-in portals.
Oh, that. Oh, well, shut up. You're out your mind. Those things are great. Shut up.
Well, I mean, and I get that, and I do get that, and some of the arguments that were posted, brought up in that about people liking the walk-ins because they like to be able to go in a 4-man, like Kondak or duo outer or something like that. I actually had somebody on there saying he liked him and his buddy, like, they duo Kondak all the time. I'm like, really, you do? You duo Kondak every day? I would love to see that. Because there's no way in hell it's possible for only 2 people to finish Kondak.
Until you get to the certain boss. When you get to that, what was it, the 3rd boss, maybe, I think his name is? 3rd boss?
No, it's the second. It's not even really a boss.
Oh, no, I mean, it's the switches, yeah. The switches, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you can have the other 2 just chilling. Just like, all right, we need you for the switches now. All right, we're on our way. You can do it like that.
It doesn't quite work like that.
Don't bring doubt. Don't bring doubt. Trying to help y'all out.
Okay. Decon here is a thread here that he's been wanting us to look at.
I did see that.
Light Blast desperately needs a buff.
Light Blast. I know that name because I played a Hard Light.
It's the 35% finisher for Hard Light. However, when you are have multiple targets in the area, it splits.
Yeah, isn't that the one that debuffs?
No, I don't think it debuffs.
I could have sworn it debuffs.
I don't believe that. I haven't looked at Hard Light in a while. I ain't gonna lie.
I haven't looked at mine in a while either.
And they've got a point. Light Blast is by far one of the best crowd control powers that Hardlight has.
Agreed.
Simply because it does split. I mean, I've been on many a prime run where I've seen a Hardlight controller hit all the healer drones as soon as they spawn out, which is life saving for a lot of people.
Yes, it is.
However, as stated, it splits off, when there are multiple targets, and that also causes the damage to split. So, I gotta agree. I think Hardlight Light Blast does need looked at. Not so much so that the damage doesn't split when the ray splits off, but that the ray doesn't split off anymore at all.
Okay.
That's just me.
I think a hard light is one of those other powers that's going to look like into getting possibly revamped. As far as I know, it's not on the slate, but I mean, it's one of those powers. It's got to get revamped.
Well, it's the first DLC power that we've gotten. It's the first type new power that we got in the game. So if there's if there's another power on the schedule to be revamped, Hard Light would be first. So, Decon says Light Blast is the healer debuff in controller role.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. That's another thing I wanted to touch upon. Now, as a player, and I don't support glitching. I just don't. Mm-hmm. There have been a number of glitches apparently coming up with the Paradox Wave. I think it is Paradox Wave. That has the wall glitch.
I'm not going to go into detail on what those glitches are.
I'm not going to go into detail either since I really don't know.
Right.
Okay, Microgrid, I really do like that back. That back is pretty bitchin'. But he even got a bitchin' helm. Alright, I don't like him anymore. Anyways.
Your inventory's full, by the way.
I know. I'm skipping it. But, yes, you are seeing players run around with 100 CR blah, 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 blah. Yeah. For all you people who got the 100 CR, thumbs up. I don't care. You don't affect my gameplay. If you had the glitch, you had the glitch. That's on your conscience, and that's on your karma. I don't care. And what's really bad is the fact that you don't even need... You can be in the group, and someone else can do it. And that causes you to have that problem. It sucks. It sucks completely that it's done like that. Now, are the devs looking at it? Yes. Are they trying their best to fix as much as possible? Yes. There's just a lot.
Actually, the fixes are in.
They are in?
The fixes are in for Wave.
Okay.
So now I want to see all you 100 CR guys actually beat it legit.
Good.
Because honestly, you know what? I've been hearing stories from people and all that these guys been going in talking about bragging up about how they glitched Wave, that they got all this gear and they can't beat Nexus. So yeah.
And you know what, guys? You know what? I haven't been in Nexus. I haven't been in Wave. Those are the two raids I have not done from the DLC. I haven't. And does it make me a bad player? Have I seen the videos? Yeah. I've seen Odyssey do it. I know how the fight goes. Have I gotten a chance to? No. And you know why? It's because of this. And it's because of this. Because ignorant people look at a number. They all look at this pissant little number. My CR is 87. You only need CR 86 to walk on in. What's going on? Mm-hmm. I don't need a CR 90. CR 99 needed for Nexus, needed for Paradox Wave. Bull. Take your little number and shove it. The reason that these numbers are here is so we have access to the content. That is just so we can walk in and do them. The absurd number of the fact that you need a CR 97 for Brothers in Arms? GTFO. GTFO, people. That's absurd. And it's stupid. Now, I can tell you right now, if I was a better raid leader like I was back in World of Warcraft, at the end of this podcast, I would sure as hell grab a full raid of people. Full blown raiders. All 86. Hopefully with enough CR they actually know what they're doing. Or enough skill points, I mean. I look at skill points more or less. I mean, I'm at least, you need to at least be like, around your CR. I mean,
Right.
if you're 86 and you have 60 skill points, I'm gonna be kind of sketchy. But it depends on who you are at the same time. But anyways, off track. I would grab a whole bunch of people of CR 86, CR 87 in your 80s. If you're able to walk on in, boom, let's go in there. Oh, we wiped. Welcome to a MMO. Welcome to the fun of dying. All my fans like to see me die, and that's just sick. But I like it because that's enjoyment to them, because they also like to see me just cry or something. CR 96 for alerts. You gotta be kidding me. Come on, guys. Come on. The combat rating is not to be defining as for a player of what you need to do. The combat rating is to signify of what content you're capable of doing. You have a CR of 86. Congratulations. You can start doing Paradox Wave and Nexus raids. Awesome. Go in there. Go in there, CR 86. Go in there, see how tough it is. Die a lot. Just go in there and die. And then you'll know, you know what? It's really hard. It's a little hard. I think I'm going to go ahead and just do some alerts, do some operations, and get some more tier gear. Get some gear up, and we'll go in there again.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's my rant. Once again with the CR rant. And that's the thing. It's like, I really wish I could make it with my league. I love my league. Suit Up is amazing. I love him. I'm glad Aiden's in him. I'm glad Aiden's in it. I would, if I could invite everybody, I would, but it's not my call. But I mean, I love my league. Do I wish I could raid with them all the time? I do. But because of my requirements for the SourceCast, for my YouTube channel, just for personal life, I just can't do it. I just can't make it. And it saddens me. But they understand and they respect it. And that's why I love them. And that's why probably I'll never leave. Unless they kick me. Because I tried to hug too many people. It's not like it won't happen. I mean,
I told you, bad touch tracks.
What? She likes it. They all like the hug. Still waiting for my hug emote. That'll be great. Perfect even.
Detonates my hug emote.
Wow. You're mean. So mean. But yeah, we're going to be talking. We're going to go into more of an in-depth look at DLC 8 next week on next week's show. Give a nice little review. Talk about a little bit what we like and what we dislike. If you want our generalized opinion, everyone already knows how I like it. I love it. It's single player content suited for me as a player. How many marks do I have now? I have no tier 5 armor whatsoever, but I have 69 marks of reality. And
you can go get yourself a 86 chest right now.
Exactly. I can go ahead and get my chest or my helm, and I'm definitely going to, as soon as I just do a couple more. Do up a little bit more. It's whatever. But I mean, so now that you're officially in DLC 8, what do you think of it? What do you like it?
Yeah, I mean, I like it. It's smaller content, so so if you don't have the group, to go and plus it, none of it takes nearly as long as Family or Brothers in Arms does. So if you're looking to run something really quick and all that with a small group of people and all that, it's easily done. It's easily done. Not to mention the fact Wastelands is freaking gorgeous looking. As much as a desolated, hell on earth, space, area that it is definitely a beautiful spot to go and just look around and everything. As for the content and everything, I like it. I like it. The Envy Duo is Envy Duo is definitely the hardest of the duos and all that, but it's not unbeatable. It's not unbeatable. So
Freaking
I
hate
don't
that
know.
duo so much.
Yeah, that duo's. Oh, and I didn't know. Did you notice that there's a little? Everybody here in the chat that will know what I'm talking about here. There is a little Trexlight Easter egg in the Tunnel of Lust.
What?
Yes, yes. Well, I took it as a Trexlight Easter egg. I've got a video on it showing it and everything like that. I'll have that posted up tomorrow.
No, you need to tell me now.
No, no, no. I'm saving it.
I'm gonna be so busy tomorrow. I won't be able to watch it.
there is. Okay, I'm gonna tell you. I'll tell you.
Thank you.
There is a spot somewhere there in the Tunnel of Lust where there is a little Cupid in a cage that's trapped, and you get to free him. You don't get anything out of it, anything like that. But there's a little Cupid guy in there that he's in a cage, and you get to free him.
Wait.
And all that. And when I was in there, I was like, "Oh my God, it's Trex!"
Wait, in the Tunnel of Lust?
Yes,
Wait, in the territory or the instance?
in the instance.
I don't remember ever having to free some Cupid.
You will see it in my video. You will see it in my video.
I don't remember this. I don't even like the sound of this now.
See, Ace knows what I'm talking about.
What? I don't get this. Where's Aiden? He's not helping me. I'm dying here. No, I'm not going to use a soda.
You've got full power. You don't need a controller. You need to use some of your powers. You've got burnout and burning determination on your loadout, and you're not using either one of them.
Shh. I just want him to kill stuff.
You've got freaking zero colas. I don't have those.
It's actually next.
Oh, those are next?
Yeah. Drake, one of my fans, I mean, he literally mailed these to me, and I'm like, soda color next, where are these? Put in my inventory, looked at my remixes, and I was like, okay, that's a pretty cool. Then looked at the next, I'm like, holy shit! Those, like, fill up my bar completely. It's like, it was crazy. Oh, she's doing the breaking stuff, too, so. And she helped me, so I need to help her.
There you go.
Yeah. New hotness from Dream Girls. I actually know that league. They're actually really cool people.
Alrighty.
But yes, we are just absolutely. I'm enjoying DLC 8 completely. It's just becoming really fun for as the player that is me that can't do really large group content. I like the direction that they're going with this, and it's really fun. Really fun. I see Michael Grid over there. What's he doing? Having some
I
fun?
don't know. You're still going through all this with your inventory full, man.
It's only Grays. It's only
Yeah, I
Grays.
mean, I think there is actually some loot drops you can get in there.
Well, if there was, I would be getting them.
All right. Well, hey, I am my controller is being summoned.
Your what?
Yeah, my troller on PS3 is being summoned.
It's being summoned.
Yes.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
awkward. All right. Well, does anyone in chat have any questions that you want to ask us real fast before we go? Any questions at all that it can really try and pertain to anything, and we'll try to answer as best to our ability as possible. No promises. But do remember that no, there was no FNL today. They took this week was off because Labor Day weekend and actually I can go ahead and talk about that real fast. MEPS is actually in Atlanta, Georgia right now at Dragon Con with some other community managers, Delexa and Radar X. They're over at that convention. So if you're in the Atlanta area or want to go to Dragon's Con, go there, find them. Go find them.
I believe there are some up at PAX as well.
Yep, they're PAX Prime in Seattle is going on right now, so do head over there. I don't know who's there. I think Amorous is there. I don't know. People are there. Just people. Let's see here. Trex, after the nerf of Nexus, the one-shots don't hit no more even the CR88s can do it. So yeah, there you go. I mean, one, it was they made it easier. They made a couple of adjustments to make it a little bit easier for everybody, and I'm okay with that. Let's see. Can you say the Blue Lantern Oath with or without me googling it? With or without me, if I have the choice, I will Google. I will Google. All right. Actually, I need to go up here and defeat Taskmasters now. I do know that their ending thing is all will be well. Without cheer, no, I don't know it. Have you gotten Have you had a chance to try out Cheetah or Donna Troy yet?
No, I don't have enough marks to get them yet.
Ooh, that's right. They do cost. They cost 85.
85 each.
Yeah.
85 marks of legend each.
I need to look at my currency because I think I can buy them. At least I can buy one, maybe. Marks of legend. Nope, I'm almost there though. You know what that means? I just gotta do PvP more. Yay, Trex dying. I play with them in the test server, and I even had Jimmy. I helped her do her cheetah video. Just stood there and took a lot of lickings. That was really fun. Really happy to help her out with her cheetah video as well. Be sure to head over to DCUO Crisis Core on YouTube to check out that video. You'll see me standing there just getting hit a lot. But she was really fun to play with. Donna Troy, I haven't really tried too much of her, so go and try her out. She does sound like a cool character to play with, though. My opinion on Batfleck, I like it.
We talked about this last week.
Exactly.
We talked about this last week. I believe in Ben Affleck.
I believe in Ben Affleck too. I do. Ben Affleck, I do believe in him.
Just like Bruce Wayne believed in Harvey Dent, I believe in Ben Affleck.
That's what the meme is. It's a pretty hot meme too. I gotta like that.
All right.
Here's one. I've been getting auto loot drops and new duos and alerts. Why? That is because of the new loot system. You're not gonna have the loot. That you're not gonna roll on loot anymore. You're just not.
Yeah, not in the tier 5, and eventually they're going to trickle that down into tier 4, and then tier 3, tier 2, and then tier 1.
Yep. So that's why
so
you're
nobody has to roll on loot anymore. You're guaranteed to get some piece of gear. You may not want it, you may not like it, but you're going to get it anyways.
That's the most appropriate way to put it. Yeah. Yeah. The only time you're going to see the group loot window is if it's base items, random greens.
Not even that. No, not even that. Because I've gotten base items off the bosses. It's only off the bosses. Now, if it's a random drop off of an ad, if it's a random drop off of an ad, yeah, you'll have a group loot and all that. You'll have to roll on stuff. But if it's off of a boss, you're guaranteed to get a piece of gear.
Yes. Yeah. That. So, but yeah, FNL will return next week over at twitch.tv/DC Universe Online. So be sure to head out for that. So they will be back. Meps should be back in the office. Probably Yins will be there as well, doing the Yinsy thing. And then, of course, we will be back next week over here at twitch.tv/Trexlight for the DCO SourceCast live right after FNL. Next week, again, we're going to talk about DLC 8, talk about all the cool stuff that came with it and all the problems that came with it as well. There were stuff. It was semi-easy. But again, you can pick up the DLC 8 Sons of Trigon DLC next week on September 3rd. So I hope to see more of you guys there. There is a Celestial Guide on the forums created by our buddy Kristyana, who was here earlier in the show. And be sure to check it out. It's going to be a work in progress until we get some stuff finalized with it. But Celestial, by the way, is badass. No, we don't know what the new tank power is yet. I'm wanting Red Lantern.
New tank power is water.
I hate you. That's not nice.
Well, Jens was talking about how, I guess him and Mets was giving Jens a hard time, joking with him. Sorry about that, folks. Didn't mean to do that right next to the mic.
Oh, we know what kind of night it's gonna be.
Mets was asking Jens if his phone was clean now or not, because apparently he got wet. So of course, I had to jump on the Twitter, and ask if this was a hint about water powers coming in the DCO. So.
All right, last question from Ace the Days Soups. That's for you.
What's that?
You got a question in chat?
I mean, PS4. The day I am going to be at the midnight release for it at my local Best Buy.
There you go. I'll be getting it too, but probably 9 years later.
Yeah. He'll be getting his a couple months before the PS6 comes out.
You just skip the 5 completely. There's no PS5.
Yeah.
Like
yeah,
I'm skipping that console completely. I'm going straight to 6.
Yep.
Wow, I'm a bad gamer, but I'm not that bad of a gamer.
You're getting the PS4 before the 6 comes out. That's what I'm saying.
Wow. Any new hardware with the glitches? Of course there's going to be glitches. We don't know what the glitches are going to be until we get the system. But
exactly.
All right, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. Find us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. All the information is right there on the screen. It's fun. But be sure to also follow the DCUO SourceCast on Facebook at /DCUO SourceCast. And you can also find us on the Twitter at DCUO SourceCast. So thank you all so much for watching. We will see you guys next time.
Y'all take care.
That's it. Game's over. Step along, nothing to see. Get going before my good mood wears off. That means now.